Europe has to be capable to defend itself.
We cannot depend on anybody else.
We cannot secure European continent without European industries.
Security is a new European promise.
Many Europeans believed they could sleep peacefully because the global order was guaranteed by their American ally. But that time is over.
The new administration and the new president of the United States have said that the US are perhaps not willing, able, and ready to continue supporting our security, and that it could perhaps in the future disengage from our common security. In any case, with or without the US, the European Union as such, we have to set up our own defense capabilities and to create a Europe of defense. We cannot depend on anybody else.
The EPP Group in the European Parliament is leading efforts to build a true common defence. The latest example is a European Defence Procurement Summit with the EU Defence Commissioner and leaders of flagship European companies.
European defense is one of the key historic challenges in this moment of time. And for us as EPP, politics starts with listening, with taking care about the industry sector, about those who are working every day in this area. That's why the common platform of the defense industry is the starting point for developing a good policy.
We felt after the start of the war of aggression of Russia in Ukraine how vulnerable we were when we do not produce our own energy. In front of a war tomorrow we would be extremely vulnerable if we would not have the industrial basis in Europe to produce what our armed forces need to operate on the ground. And this is the reason why we cannot secure European continent without European industries.
To boost Europe's defence, the EU member states agreed to spend billions of euros as part of the rearmament initiative.
Program SAFE 150 miliardów euro w formie tanich, dostępnych pożyczek dedykowany europejskiemu przemysłowi zbrojeniowemu. To program, w którym m.in. realizowane mogą być tak strategiczne projekty jak obrona flanki wschodniej, Tarcza Wschód i linia bałtycka, ale jest wzmocniony również programem ReArmEU, czyli narodowymi wkładami, które również powinny osiągnąć pewien pułap budżetowy. Polska na przykład to 5% PKB.
The ReArm Europe plan aims to mobilise more than 800 billion euros in defence spending by unlocking national fiscal flexibility. At the same time, the SAFE initiative introduces a new €150 billion loan instrument to support joint procurement across the EU.
We need now a lot of massive investments in the defense structure of Europe. And the first question is how to be more efficient. If we do procurement together as Europeans, if we buy our tanks together, it is more efficient. We will save millions and even billions of euro taxpayers' money, and that is the idea behind the common procurement. Another element for this common procurement is that we are then more innovative.
Nicolas Pascual de la Parte, EPP Group MEP and former Spanish ambassador to NATO, outlines the path forward.
First of all, we have to identify clearly which are the joint threats and menaces we face, all of us. It's easier said than done because the feeling of a Polish perhaps does not coincide with the feeling of a Greek or with the Spanish, with the German, but we have to come to an agreement concerning the joint threats and menaces. Second step, to map out our vulnerabilities and our shortcomings. The third step is to create the capabilities, military and civilian capabilities, to fill the gaps that we have identified in the second phase.
A major change in the context of the rearmament of the European Union is the European Defence Industry Programme, EDIP, which has been adopted by the European Parliament.
In fact, it's setting an ambition. We will invest common European money in developing new equipments, weapons and military supply that will be requested by the member states who are keeping the capacity to command and define the needs because the project is to equip as they should be the armed forces of our countries. Where the change lies is that it's European common budget and European common ambition.
The EPP Group is convinced that now is the time to pave the way for other ambitious projects.
Let's look for European flagship projects. For example, a European air defense system in the east of Europe would be of benefit for all of us. Or imagine a common cyber brigade for the European Union, where in the digital world there is no national border anymore. That's why I do it together. Then it's more efficient and we are safer as Europeans.
Europejczycy oczekują bezpieczeństwa. To wynika ze wszystkich pytań, które mamy i zadajemy naszym obywatelom. Chcą czuć się bezpiecznie, dlatego my odpowiadamy na to zapotrzebowanie i myślę, że te najbliższe lata pokażą w praktyce, że Europę stać na własną konstrukcję budowania i gwarantowania bezpieczeństwa naszym obywatelom.